93 WIBC, Rob Kendall.
Brian Baker, we are the C team, not the A team, not the B team, but the C team. Rob Kendall, how are you, son? My good friend, my now nominated as Indianapolis Radio Personality of the Year by the Indianapolis Star. Where do folks go to vote, man? I did my vote last night.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes.
And as you know, our goal here with this was nominated by the Indy Star as Radio Personality of the Year.
Right.
My goal is not even to win. I mean, I want to win.
Yeah.
But I really just want to beat Tony Katz. As long as I can beat Tony Katz, I'll be fine.
Yeah, listen, that would be, I might actually go door to door and get people to sign up just because I would like to see that happen, just so I could experience, so I could be in the building.
And Tony's got his syndicated show now.
Yes.
From 11 to, is it 11 to 2 that he's on?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Rob, let me tell you a little secret, and this is something I've held on to. I produced for Tony for a year and a half, and I was in the studio with him, but I've never heard the show.
Well, anyway, I bring this up because, he's not down with us anymore. He's up on the 5th floor when he does
and making snarky comments at me, by the way. Yeah.
So, but I still am in the main studio when he's on the air, putting together the archives for the Chicks on the Right, etc. And I can control his show in some capacity. So if I beat him, I think what I'm going to do the day after I beat him is I'm just going to pipe in Eric Cartman going, na, 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 na. So, yes, please help me beat Tony Katz, Indy Star Radio Personality of the Year. I've got it pinned up on my Twitter, at Rob M. Kendall. Vote early, vote often. Let's beat Tony Katz.
I love it. Let's get out there. Actually, I have a friend who works on South Park. I had another buddy who worked on the Family Guy series. I think maybe I might have to make a few phone calls, and maybe if we can get him to actually get one of the guys to record the Eric Cartman voice, just like really sticking it to him.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Tony reminds me a little bit of Eric Cartman.
And sometimes you bust out the celebrity contacts, because I remember during Christmas season when you filled in one day, you actually had the guy who was Optimus Prime on the Transformers as Santa Claus on one of your skits.
Yes, it was very impressive, and I must tell you that I'll tell you how I got a lot of celebrity contacts before I actually was kind of traveling in those circles. Was we had who was that drunk guy that got in all kinds of trouble?
Well, that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, no, he used to be on one of the big Entertainment Tonight shows, wore the glasses and.
O'Brien.
Pat O'Brien.
Pat O'Brien.
So Pat O'Brien, when I was producing for Tony Bruno, he used to come in once a week for the Tony Bruno Morning Extravaganza.
Yeah.
And he would come in and he would do a little thing about what's happening. And so anyway, this was back when we had Palm Pilots. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he hands me his Palm Pilot, and he says, listen, here, I call this guy. And I said, all right. And I took his Palm Pilot, and I went in the other room, and I had a Palm Pilot as well. And I beamed all of his contacts into my Palm Pilot. So I was calling people. I called Gary Busey in the middle of the night. I called Gary Shandling. Yes, indeedy doody.
Does that conversation start out with, you don't know me, but...
Yeah. Listen, I have a script.
My name is Brian Baker. You'll want to know me. You don't know me, but you'll want to know me. Oh, yes. I'm sure that'll get you a long way. Speaking of don't know me, want to know me, Brian, you're very concerned because the president does not want to know Robert Mueller.
Does not want Robert Mueller anywhere near this investigation either. I understand now he's starting to pressure Jeff Sessions potentially to fire Mueller.
Yeah, he says the witch hunt has gone on long enough. We've wasted enough time. Let's shut it down.
Rob, this is absolutely, I think that this is disastrous. This is perhaps the Nixon Watergate moment if he tries to force Jeff Sessions to fire Robert Mueller.
No, wait. Okay, so walk me through this here, because Donald Trump, while he is the president,
yes,
he's also a citizen. He's a taxpayer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as such, he has a First Amendment right, correct?
Oh, of course.
Because you or I could say the same thing, which I said something close to that.
Yeah.
That I think this is a waste of time and should be shut down and move on.
Yes.
So why can't President Trump do that? Because he's also a citizen with First Amendment rights.
Well, here's why, Rob. Because you and I are not directly involved in the investigation. That's why. We are not in any way connected to any of these probes that are going on. No one's looking into my background. Because really, I mean, what else is there to find? I vomit my life on the air every single day. But for President Trump, who is associated here, and they're looking into, possible collusion with Russia, for him to be out there and trying to stifle the investigation, I think is potentially disastrous. And on top of that, if it is a witch hunt, which I believe it is, I think there's absolutely nothing there. Let it play out. The more he talks about it, the more the media keeps harping on it. Just let it go. Say, you know what? Do your investigation, find all the facts, and let's get this wrapped up as quickly as possible. But if he tries to get Sessions to fire Mueller, and by the way, if that happens, Sessions will just refuse to do it and resign, it would be a disaster.
So the chicks and I were talking about this today.
Yes.
And as you know, no one loves Thy God Emperor more than me.
Absolutely.
But there is a...
See, now I've heard that show.
There's a part of me, Brian,
yes,
that is actually hoping for an indictment. Now, I don't think Mueller can technically indict him, but I'm hoping it goes somewhere where the president ends up getting indicted. Because can you imagine Trump's Twitter when that happens?
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine?
All right, see, now I got where you're going with this here.
Because, for the country, I would feel bad.
Yes.
But for our profession, for our job in broadcasting, the Donald Trump Twitter and the trial playing out, it would be so great, Brian.
That would be a pretty fantastic era to be sitting here behind the microphones, for sure.
Now, here is the other question I have.
Yes.
And perhaps you could...
By the way, your shirt says hump on it.
Hump Day.
Oh, it's hump day.
It's the camel.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Today is hump day.
All right.
Hump day.
I thought you were encouraging procreation.
Oh, no.
All right. No. So continue, yes.
When Comey was fired,
yes,
it came to light that he had told President Trump, you are not under investigation,
yes,
et cetera.
So
how is there still an investigation going on if the FBI director... a year and a half ago?
Yes.
Said you're not under investigation.
I don't know. This entire thing is a complete and total mess, Rob. There is so much corruption going on. And I feel bad because I know a gentleman, salt of the earth, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life, who serves right now in the FBI. He's down in Atlanta. He's the head of a big drug task force down there. No, it's not Peter Strzok.
No, it's not Peter Strzok.
No. Gentleman that I sold my Miami Vice Daytona Ferrari to.
Okay.
Do you know?
Does he drive that around at work?
Rob, I kid you not. Because I grew up with Miami Vice, loved that show.
Yep.
So when I was doing well and making the big bucks, I got myself one of those Miami Vice black Ferrari Daytonas like they would drive around. Right. So I couldn't, ultimately, I bought it from a guy in Missouri, almost died bringing it back, and I'm not kidding about that. And then got it to California, and I couldn't get it registered because it wouldn't pass smog, so I had to turn around and sell it. So this guy in Atlanta purchased it from me, and do you know why he chose the career he did?
Why?
Miami Vice.
No!
He grew up loving Miami Vice, so he became an undercover officer and then became an undercover FBI agent. He did at one point in time work in Miami, and I went to visit him last time I was in Atlanta, and we went for a ride and played Crockett and Tubbs. It was a grand old time for a couple of guys in their 40s.
Can you repeat something for me?
Yes.
You couldn't register your car.
No.
Because it didn't pass...
smog. The smog inspections there in California are much stricter than they are anywhere else in the country, and each state has its own individual smog regulations that you have to pass.
So like when you turn the car on, is that what you're talking about? When you drive it around?
Yeah, they put a big hose over it, and and so you have to have like so much emissions equipment on it. It was a complete and total mess.
And I assume you didn't know this when you had purchased the vehicle?
No, I thought it was exempt, and because I thought that the car, I thought the rule was that anything 1976 or after had been exempt, and that wasn't the case. I missed it by, you ready? 1 year.
Ooh!
1 year.
I've never heard of smog.
That's
I've never heard of this.
That's because you live in America. That's why.
I'm Rob Kendall. He's Brian Baker. By the way, just again, a quick reminder. Help us.
Please.
So say us
in
our quest to defeat Tony Katz and make sure he is not Radio Personality of the Year. Vote for Rob M. Kendall. You can find the link at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. Indie Star Radio Personality of the Year. Brian and I, it's all we ask.
Yes.
That's it. We just want to beat Tony Katz.
Yeah.
For the betterment of society.
We're here providing you 9 minutes of excellence every evening. You can't help out and do a little something for us?
Hey, speaking of 9 minutes of excellence, it's time for the mashup.
Hey, it starts right now.
On 93.
WIBC.
Whoopity-doo-dah.